It's time for the show that brings the magic right to your speakers. Ears up!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Funny seeing you here.
Yes.
It's Ears Up Podcast on the very day to this day 70 years ago. The worst accident I'd ever seen in my life happened in Orange Grove in Anaheim. What's going on? It is Disneyland's 70th birthday today. Right now today, as we're recording, Taren.
Yes, it's
and you
a
know
big
how much,
day.
Yeah, you know how much I don't like working on birthdays. So I'm annoyed by this.
What aren't you annoyed by?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
Yes.
Not being annoyed. Wait. Being annoyed. Yes, that's it. I'm annoyed. I'm not whatever. Who cares? Yeah, so it's Disneyland 70th, everybody, and that's what we're talking about today. Go ahead, Taren. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask you to turn down my headphones. They are incredibly loud.
They are incredibly loud. What number are you? Is it this one?
I don't think so. It sounds the same.
Is it this one?
Nope.
Okay. Is it this one?
Yes.
Hey, we got it, folks.
Okay.
That would worry me if, I don't know if you just turned it down or not. I couldn't tell.
Oh, no. It was more like the music didn't change, but we weren't talking, so I couldn't really tell. Anyway, here we go. Oh, I just messed it up because the music was still going while we did that. My bad.
What are you saying to me right now? You want me to turn the volume up again?
No, I'm just saying that I was trying to not let you know that I was having a problem until you could edit it easily, and I did it during the music, so
that's okay.
It will not be
honey.
easy for you.
I appreciate that. It's very easy for me because I record on what's called in the business multi-track.
Well,
yes.
then there you go.
That's how I take out all your pops and hisses and whatever.
Well, great.
Isn't it, though?
Wonderful.
I don't know. So, yeah, on today's show, everybody, we're talking about the opening day at Disneyland. And we're talking about there were a bunch of problems, and, not from a standpoint of what stupid people didn't see this coming, but from a standpoint of just how far the park has come since the opening day. I think it's going to be fascinating because there's a couple of things that we hear about, off and on. There's common ones that people know about, but Taren has been hard at work on the Google Internet machine, digging through the pipes and finding a bunch of different just kind of stuff that went wonky, right, Taren?
Yeah, and it's a lot. It's a lot that went wonky. And
Hell yeah.
I just want to be really clear that this episode is not like the history of the opening day. We have that episode. That's somewhere else. This is just everything that went wrong.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
And it's funny because it's something we've talked about doing for a number of years now. And then it just happened to be Disney's 70th this year. And we're like, well, that's perfect. This is great. And then what we didn't do, there you go, Taren. And then what we didn't do is plan accordingly with Erik. So Erik hauled his happy caboose down to Disneyland today, right now. Him and Dan from the Supreme Resort are hanging out in downtown Disneyland tonight.
Which to me is absolutely insane.
It's bonkers.
You couldn't pay me. Actually, you probably could, but
Bro, yes.
it would be really hard for me to want to go to Disneyland today.
I tell you what, I would rather go to Disneyland on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
Or on New Year's Day. Or with the Thanksgiving, whatever the busy
We
day
did
is.
that. We did that even. But yeah, just the heat, the summer, the crowds, the anniversary, all of it.
I saw a video of this kid, and he's like, which, by the way, being 47, I like using the word kid for anybody who looks 5 years younger than me because it just feels superior. He's like, it's 3:35, and we're just about to go wait in line to get on Disney. I'm like, bro.
3:35 a.m.
Yes, a.m. It was like dark, you know, and like that first half a second, you see the video, and you're like, okay, this is going to be like, we're walking by Disneyland or whatever. These dickheads just are on their like off-road dirt bikes, just revving engines. It's like we don't live near a Fox factory. Like, come on, dude. Anyway, so I see it. I'm like, okay, it's like a weird, I don't know, behind the scene. I don't know what it is, but he's like, we're gonna go wait in line. I'm like, dude, youth is wasted on the young. or energy is wasted on the youth, or some phrase, I've turned a phrase like that.
Yeah.
But hopefully he got his footage, because I don't know, man, without the internet, if he wasn't like an internet person, he would not be doing that. Like, nobody's interested in doing it other than to get pats on the back sometimes.
Well,
maybe I shouldn't say that.
I don't think that that's true.
Not all the time, but it just, for me, I think it becomes very clear when that's the case.
Oh, yeah, when that's the case. I think that there are a lot of people who want to be there today. I am just not one of them.
I have some news stories about what's going on there too today, and there's one where it's like people were crying. I'm like, that's a lot, dude. People
are intense about stuff, like it's people have passions, and that's okay.
And it's totally fine. It's great. I just I think that's that. I don't know that my passions would let me attend the parks because it'd be so busy. Like, my passion personally for me is not being around people.
Right.
And I love that. So that's my passion. I don't know if I could overlook that enough to go to the park and celebrate the day.
Yeah.
You know what
I mean, you're even to the point where, like, you will make a decision based on your anticipated traffic.
Absolutely. Oh, my God, of course, because I'm not look, my time is too precious to be sitting in traffic.
What else do you have to do?
I can do a lot of stuff. Mainly take a nap.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems pretty cool to me. Put laundry away. I don't know. I kind of thrive. I like the mundane stuff. I don't know. I enjoy it.
But just not traffic mundane.
That's not mundane to me. That's stressful. That's a job. That's my brain. See, here's the thing about me, Taren. I am so alpha. Okay, I'm such a high value male that my brain is on constantly. So when I'm sitting in traffic, it's like I'm planning for war. Okay, I'm a general up on the hill drinking Sancerre and directing the battle down below. I got my tent. I'm sat in my general's whites, and I'm just surveying the battlefield, trying to picture out and determine where the enemy is going to come from. All angles. Oh, does that guy have his turn soon on? Yeah, but am I in his blind spot? I don't know. It's overwhelming for me.
Well, I think you should let me drive once in a while.
No, I don't want to. I want to live as long as possible, please.
I am a better driver than you.
All right. Well, anyway, if you guys are planning on going to parks, at any point, Disneyland, Disney World, or anywhere else, hit up our friends at Concierge. They are official travel partner. To go to concierge.com. Speaking of Erik being in the parks, Erik is a member of the Concierge team, and we have several, hanging out all the time. And in fact, if anyone's listening, Thomas wants to chat with one of you guys. So, reach out to Thomas, and, he wants to book some stuff. But they will take you places you've never known that you want to go. And they will do it in style. They will help you arrive in style. They'll help you take away all the stress and strain and nonsense, all the stuff you don't want to be doing when you plan a trip to one of the parks. You know what I mean? All the navigating the rides and what am I going to do? What's new? All that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about it. And sure, some people like looking that stuff up, and that's great. You can definitely do that. If you're one of those people, but you still like supporting a small family-run business, and you can buy your tickets from Concierge. You don't have to take advantage of the amenities that they offer, all the stuff they offer for free, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to be in touch with anybody and be like, hey, Jimmy, hey, Marie, I need to, you don't have to do any of that stuff, but you can if you want to. So check them out, concierge.com. We booked them last time we went. That's the only one that'll go this time. I'm not going to the point where I'm not even going to take advantage of that Costco deal that's going on, because it doesn't come with all the other stuff that I deserve in my life, like pampering.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't need it. I would rather,
You need a concierge.
I need a concierge. I need someone on demand 24/7 to take care of my needs.
That is true, actually.
Yeah. So there you go. Concierge.com, everybody. Erik, I think he's about to call in.
Okay.
Which calling? Jesus Christ, Erik. Call me, Jason, my telephone. What? Hey, Erik, call in. Call me. All right. Whatever. I mean, look, it's on a group chat. What are you going to do? By the way, while we're waiting for that, temperature check in the studio, 81.7 degrees, folks.
Not bad. It's been way worse.
No. I mean, one degree, 1.5 degrees, not way worse. No.
It was like 83 and 84 one time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like 1 degree, 2 degrees.
I feel actually fine in here. I feel good.
You're next to the window.
I have a good spot.
Yeah. I have 3-4 lights on me. This big monitor blocking the window. I'm roasting, man. I'm about to put on a muscle shirt. Oh. Anthony. It's Anthony. Go away, Anthony.
Wrong person.
God, I should have just put him on. Anthony, because he wants to talk Destiny. He sent me because he works for Bungie, and he sent me a text message today. He's like, "How's the new content?" And Erik, there he is. Hang on a second. Erik, how you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm walking through DCA right now.
Yeah,
Over to Disneyland.
sounded like you walked right by a steam vent as it let loose some steam.
By Disney River Rapids.
I don't know.
Disney River Rapids? Is that what he said? I think that's what he said.
No, he's in downtown Disney. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, can you hear us, Erik?
Yes, I can hear you quite well.
Oh, sweet. Perfect. Well, how's it going over there in Disneyland, man? What's the vibe? It's the 70th birthday today. What's happening?
The 70th anniversary has been fantastic. My magic band is vibrating right now to tell me that it's been great.
Okay.
That's what it's supposed to do.
All right.
Yeah. I'm heading over to Disneyland itself to meet up with some folks and catch me on the camp tonight.
No, hold on. Hang on. Make sure when you're talking on the phone that the microphone is right in your mouth, because otherwise I can't hear you.
Well, they are earbuds, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay. Are they earbuds with like the microphone in line? Because then you can maybe hold it up closer to your mouth a little bit.
I suppose I could. Yes, okay. I do have a microphone that I'm holding near. I'll turn off when it's out of my ear.
Thanks, man.
We'll see.
I appreciate it. Only because like when you, sounds like when you turn your head, then it gets muffled, and then when it's back. So if you just want to hold it, yeah, that's all.
I think it's just Disney's heavy Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right. So anyway, you're saying the 70th anniversary is going well for you, the birthday.
Yes, it's been pretty great.
Are they doing?
Yeah, we got.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
Oh well, we got to hang out with Walt
for
a little bit this morning.
Wow. How? Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about that at the beginning of the show. We're going to talk about it at the end of the show also, or actually it was pre-show. How is the Walt? So we're talking about the Walt animatronic in Hall of Presidents or whatever. How is that? Because the online discourse has been very heated, mostly in the negative.
It has been. And you know what? It was really well done. The show was well done. The animatronic, I mean, we were in like the back row. Dan and I were in the back, but from up close, some people said, yeah, it does look like the pictures.
Okay.
Which is amazing. But you know what? It's a very lifelike animatronic. He walks around. No, he doesn't walk around. He takes a step.
Yeah, he takes
He's very emotive.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm walking away from what appears to be a more world of color.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
He's very expressive.
Yes, extremely expressive. The facial expressions were fantastic. His arm gestures, his movement, very fluid, very human.
Okay.
Shall I say?
That's good.
That's what we want out of our human-like animatronics, I feel. Like, what did Dan think?
Right.
What was Dan's takeaway?
Oh, Dan agreed. Dan's basic take was they need something for the regular people and the nerds.
Okay.
All right. That's a pretty balanced, that's a pretty nuanced take. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how probably far away the face looks a little bit better. And I'm like, yeah, of course, it has to. But it sounds like it's, that's the preem seats is where you want to be in the back. Everything's a little
Yeah,
blurry.
well, yeah. Like it needs to read across the room, and it's a pretty big room when you really think about it. They
Yeah.
fit a lot of people in there.
Is it? Would you call it like the animatronic version of forced perspective, where if you're too close, then the magic is ruined, but if you're farther away,
perhaps.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because some people, we had some people that were in like the fourth row, and they were less impressed.
Okay. Interesting.
From the back, I was like, it looked good.
Yeah, go
I'm
again, but sit center stage front row.
Yeah.
Right.
Look right up his nose, man. I want to see.
I'll try that tomorrow.
All right, I want your take on that too. What kind of special stuff are the parks doing for their own birthday?
Not much.
Okay.
Is the answer.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so from what we've heard from some insiders, they're going to really push 75.
Oh, okay.
In a few years, because they've got a lot of new stuff that's going to be open there. They've got the Matterhorn down. They've got Star Tours down. It's like there's all this stuff that's not like right now.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is.
So
it's funny that you go, oh, they're really going to push 75 instead of 70, and then ultimately two things happen in my brain. One, what is the difference between 70 and 75? Just 5 years. Like it's not really like a special birthday. Every year the park is open is special for them, I guess. But also it makes sense because Disneyland Forward is progressing at that point. There's definitely more stuff to show off and showcase. So yeah, that probably makes a little more sense.
Well, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh yeah, 75. That makes far more sense than 70. Maybe we should have held off on this show.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's it, folks. That's the show tonight. We're going to be done early thanks to Taren's brain.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Okay. Good talking to you.
No. So is there anything going on? Like any special goodies or special, I don't know, celebrations? Is the fireworks going to be weird tonight? Like what's, it's a big key party?
I mean, Paint the Night is back. Fireworks are regular. Nothing's that special, like different. It's stuff that we were used to see. But it's a lot of stuff that's back.
Okay, well that's good, right?
Paint the Night's been away for a bit.
Yeah,
and
that's a good show.
It's fantastic. I'm heading over that way to catch the end of that, and I mean they've got some decorations up around the castle. They've got decorations everywhere. It's in the Esplanade, all the 70s stuff. There's plenty of merch available, but ultimately. Like it's not a huge celebration. I remember the diamonds being bigger at 50, and I'm sure you guys might remember the 50th. I've heard the 50th was really great, but yeah, right now they're doing some stuff, and I'm sure I need to sit down and like take notes on all the stuff that's going on. Like they have stickers in Toy Story Mania.
Stickers.
Disneyland 70th giant stickers.
Okay.
As if Andy went to the 70th
and
bought a bunch of stickers and put them in the right. It's the cutest thing ever.
I love
that's
that.
Cute. So it's part of the decoration. It's not like you don't get a sticker. It's just part of the decoration.
Right.
That's sick, dude. I love it.
Like that.
It's behind Mr. Potato Head, and I got to take some pictures tomorrow.
You got to do it. Yeah.
It was so fun.
That's awesome. All right. Well, there's little stuff like that. So it sounds like they're showing out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been nice. They had this virtual queue for Walt. It went really well, really smooth. They've been showing off the previews for the last few days, but then like today was just boom, 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 normal virtual queue. Like, hey, every once in a while it pauses for a little bit. We might have to skip a show, have to fine tune something.
Okay.
But we got in. We were group 122, and we got in at like 11 o'clock.
Jeez.
It was fine.
Dude, sounds great. How are the?
Yeah, they're churning people.
How are the crowds?
The crowds aren't bad. Everybody's hanging out on Main Street.
Okay.
Just kind of 'cause. I mean, they've got all the 70th like stuff going on. There's a cavalcade. There's Walt, but really the crowds weren't bad once we got further in.
Yeah.
At least this morning. It's apparently gotten bigger tonight.
Sure.
But I've been over in DCA for a little bit because I was in Disneyland all day yesterday and most of the day today. I'm going to go on Guardian.
Cool.
Let's do some other stuff. But yeah, the crowds over here at DCA were low enough. I talked to one guy at a food cart who said, "It's real boring today. Everybody's at Disneyland."
Oh man.
See, okay.
And they were.
Yeah, well, maybe that's your move. That maybe you had a good move, man, where you just like, you know what? Let's go hang out here because everyone's going to want to be a part of the magic over there.
Right. And that's true. And everybody's getting the merch and everybody's having a good time. There's nothing wrong about that. It's just, I think Dan put it best where he's like, the crowd here at Disneyland is half people who are super Disney fans who really want to be here, and half people who are like, wait, what's going on today?
Well, there you go.
Well, apparently it sounds like nothing.
Yeah. Not much.
I mean, you know,
not too much.
So far, the only thing I've heard is that there's a sticker in DCA.
Right. But yeah, I mean, okay, so the free stuff, you sent me that text last night.
Yeah.
We got buttons and we got commemorative park maps.
Okay. So you got stuff, and that's what I was afraid of, is that like Disneyland wasn't going to do anything, because I feel like that was like a big thing for the 65th or something like that, where like people were expecting something and there just wasn't anything.
Well, I don't know. A pin and a map is not doing much.
It's something, Taren.
but
it's something. It's free, okay? But that's where we're at right now.
They had a lot of them. I have one for DCA and one for Disneyland.
There you go. Get them framed,
It was
brother.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Like, oh, wait. That's what they were talking about. Okay.
All right. Well, it sounds like things
the free thing.
Sounds like things are going good. I kind of was afraid, or was hoping, I can't tell which, that it was just going to be a nightmare for you. Just like tons of people and crowds, and so you'd have more like interesting things to say. But like, it sounds like it's just a normal day at Disneyland, but you got a couple free stuffs, and you saw Walt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the beginning of the day was really, they didn't, for parts like Rope Drop, they didn't really let people in until the Disneyland band came out and played a few songs, and then they let everybody in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was there anything like special during the original like park dedication speech that Walt did at that time, or anything like that?
If there was, I couldn't hear it. And I heard that there was something they were going to try to do later during the same time frame that Walt did it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask some people because I was not physically there when it happened.
Okay.
At 11, when they allowed people who had like the DCA reservations to come back over across the way.
Yeah.
To Disneyland, they had a big concert from the Dapper Dan.
Oh, okay.
So, like, there have been little touches that are interesting. It's just not. I wasn't close enough to hear everything. I was out there at the gates at 7 a.m. and I could, I hear the Disneyland band is playing something. Someone is saying something. I don't know what else is going on.
But that's about it. Okay. How early did you get in line?
6:30.
6:30.
And so Taren had a heart attack just now. Don't mind
that's
her.
early.
What was the queue like when you got there at 6:30? Was it packed?
It wasn't terrible. I wasn't that far back.
Okay, because we were talking about some dude I saw on TikTok. He was like, "It's 3:35 and we're gonna get in line," and I wonder where he was.
Come on.
Yeah, I wonder where he was at that moment.
Dan showed up at 7:30, an hour later, and he was not that far behind me. And just get over here. I don't want to take somebody's place on. Get over here. I can see where you're standing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you let him squeeze in or not?
Right. Yeah, Dan joined me. We went in. We went on Pirates First. It was great.
Nice, dude.
Oh, Pirates First is such a good move.
It was so fun. I was very happy.
I love it. Well, that sounds great, man. I'm glad everything's going well for you, and I can't wait for a full breakdown when you come back.
All right. Yeah. I'll get my notes together. I'll talk to the other folks who are here.
Yes.
And we'll get some stuff.
Sounds good. Tell Dan we said hi, and you guys, thank you for calling in, by the way, on your vacation, and have a good rest of your trip.
No, thanks for putting this together, and I will send you the audio on my lavalier mic that's probably better than what you got off of my AirPods.
Thank you. All right, brother.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Well, there you go. There's
Cool.
Erik. So we look at some boots on the ground reporting from DCA, which is
DCA.
not the DCA's birthday,
Yeah,
but
no.
so I love Erik. It's like, yeah, I'm going for Disneyland's birthday, but I'm not fucking. Oh. I
Whoops.
said a curse. I'm not friggin' touching that park today. I'm
Yeah.
going to DCA
Yeah,
on
I
the
bet that place is
birthday of
empty.
Disneyland. Yeah. It sounds like it, which is probably the place to, because that's the thing. Like at some point, it's just, I mean, what do you care? You know,
Yeah.
it's the anniversary of a park. Who cares?
Especially if not much is like it's not like a big deal.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like, so like who cares about like the nostalgia or whatever? Because at the end of the day, you just want to ride rides and experience the parks. So
Yeah.
what better way to do it than to go to the park that is not very well packed?
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like at some
exactly.
point you have to make that call.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Taren. Well, why don't you let's start and we'll take a break like halfway through your seggy, huh? What do you think? Maybe, I don't know. Why don't you kick us off? Do you have a title for this?
This is titled Black Sunday.
Is that something you came up with?
No.
Okay.
No. That is the name. That is what July 17th is called.
All right.
It's Black Sunday.
All right. But it's Thursday.
It is Thursday today, but in 1955 it was Sunday.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hear about it.
All right. So today is Disneyland's 70th birthday. On July 17th, 1955, Disneyland opened its doors for the first time for an invite-only media preview. Now, this was exactly 1 year after breaking ground on construction on July 16th, 1954.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
1 year to build this 160-acre, it's insane. It's absolutely crazy. 1 year, as I'm about to say, 1 year is not a lot of time to construct a river, a main street, a castle, and 20 attractions.
Right.
Even with 2,500 on-site workers and $17 million to work with, which, by the way, is equivalent to about $190 million today. But despite a massive time crunch, budget constraints, and a lot of unproven ideas, Walt Disney and his team opened Disneyland on schedule, though not without a hefty bit of chaos. In fact, so many things went wrong on this opening day that it has since been coined Black Sunday, as I was saying. So today, in celebration of Disneyland's big birthday, I'm going to be taking you through some of the most dramatic problems and issues that arose during this fateful day. And rather than looking at this through the lens of negativity, it's all negative, right? Because we're talking about problems, so it's going to be negative.
Sure, man.
Yeah, but rather than looking at it like that, I actually think it's fascinating to think about how all of these things went wrong, but they still overcame all of that.
Yeah.
And still became the happiest place on earth, which once you hear some of this stuff, like, I don't know how they came back from some of this stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's always interesting to talk about what, especially with Disneyland, the things that are wrong or went wrong or whatever, because you then you sort of forget about it. You know what I mean? And I think it's more of a testament to let's just say Walt's vision in making a park for families, and he definitely found a niche, right? He found a need and he filled it. And despite all of the problems that you're about to hear, that would have sunk probably most projects like this.
Yeah.
His endured and not endured, rather, or both. Probably not because of one thing or another, but a big conglomeration of several, things: the brand, money, the drive, the people, like all of this kind of stuff. But you take one of those things out, and I think the whole thing could just fall apart.
Yeah.
So it is pretty fascinating.
It was like the perfect game of Jenga.
Yeah.
So first, let's start with some of
That's such a millennial thing to say, by the way. Most people would have said a house of cards, but Jenga.
Whatever. It was the first thing that came to mind.
That's like such a game of don't break the ice. You know what I mean?
Kind of. It's that too. Don't break the ice. I mean, whatever. Okay, first we're going to start with some of the issues that they had around infrastructure.
All right.
Now, just a few short weeks before Disneyland was scheduled to have its grand opening, while construction was in full force, union plumbers went on a strike. They were demanding better wages and working conditions.
No, Walt doesn't like union strikes.
Well, they weren't his plumbers, right? It's just in general.
Yeah, man. Probably smoked a few cigs off that one.
Probably.
You know?
Well, and the negotiations for this strike, they're not really well documented, so we don't really know exactly all the details, but this strike did definitely cause a severe shortage of skilled plumbing labor during a very crucial portion of this park's construction.
Yeah.
Now, because of this, Walt was unable to complete all of the parts of the park that he had planned.
Oh, man.
He was given a choice to either install drinking fountains or bathrooms, but there was not enough labor to do both in his time frame.
Yeah, well, easy choice.
Right.
Drinking fountain.
So he rightfully prioritized restrooms, and as a result, many drinking fountains were non-functional on opening day.
Jeez.
Now, to make matters worse, opening day was an extremely hot day in Anaheim. The temperatures reached over 100 degrees.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and when guests couldn't get a free drink of water from a fountain, they began to accuse Disney of deliberately withholding water to increase soft drink sales. I feel like I would have made that argument too.
Oh, well, dude, can you imagine the TikToks on opening day? Like,
this place would have been destroyed.
Dude, it's like, what's up, chat? Okay, here we are. Direct proof that Disneyland is trying to make us thirsty.
Yeah.
So we buy more Coca-Cola products. What is that? This is proof. Look, it's not working. And it's just like, there is a reason. And I think this is a lesson too, right? And even for today's conspiracy-addled minds.
Okay.
There's always a reason something happens. It's not necessarily nefarious.
Right.
So
not
just
necessarily.
Take a second and think about it.
Right. Well,
and then process however you wish.
And that's why Disney vehemently denied that claim.
Sure.
Because obviously that's not what happened. There were a lot of things at play and a lot of reasons why that just wasn't the right.
It didn't happen.
It just couldn't happen.
Yeah. Right.
And it was like out of his hands. Like he had to make a choice. So.
Why didn't he just go on Craigslist and hire someone?
Yeah, Craigslist doesn't exist yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So the rush to finish the park in time was noticeable in many areas throughout the facility. When the doors opened to guests, there was still some wet paint throughout the park, as well as unfinished sidewalks. And so that caused guests to have to walk through some dirt in certain areas. They didn't even have sidewalks to walk in throughout the whole park.
And I think what underlines that a little bit more is you see the pictures of how everybody was dressed.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, like you said, over 100 degrees, but like people aren't just going in, the latest hot Amazon $50 sneaks.
No.
You know what I mean? They're going in their best, their Sunday best.
Oh, yeah. Dresses,
you can walk through dirt.
Suits.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Walking through dirt in high heels. Absolutely. But even more notably, the landscaping was incomplete. And in what I think is a pretty genius move, Disney actually had fake labels made with fake Latin botanical names, which he had placed in front of weeds throughout the park to make it look like the weeded areas were intentional.
Hell yeah, dude.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're not going to get this done. Just go put a sign out. Another part of the park that was completed only hours before the doors opened was the asphalt. Now, some of the asphalt, like on Main Street, was poured only several hours before opening day, which meant that it was not given enough time to cure.
I wonder why they did it then. You know what I mean? Was there and you don't know this, but like, was there rebar already set up so it's not like they could just leave it out and go, oh, okay, even though the asphalt's not going to cure in time, it's still going to be soft. We can't have this rebar exposed, or I don't know how it was done back then, but it seems like a weird choice if you weren't forced to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and I think the other thing is that, it was really hot. it's not hot for one day, right? It's not 100 degrees one day. It's 100 degrees for several days. So even if they did it, let's say 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours before they opened the gates, the heat itself wouldn't allow it to cure in time.
Yeah.
So they got themselves into a little pickle.
Sure.
And what this meant was that these women who you were talking about, who were dressed to the nines, they're wearing high heels.
Yes.
Their high heels were sinking into the pavement.
Hell yeah, dude.
And making little divots in the pavement, which is to the detriment of Disneyland. But it's also making it very uncomfortable to walk around the park for women and men. But
you know how far they sunk into it? Like, was it like getting on their feet?
It wasn't getting on their feet, but you know, I guess like
soft enough.
You've never worn heels, but like if you wear heels in the grass,
as far as you know, first of all, don't judge me.
True.
Yeah.
When they sink into the grass, it sucks. It's very hard to walk because that's what's keeping you up.
Yeah. No, I remember at your cousin Amanda's wedding or whatever in the forest.
Oh, yes.
I had to you had to hold on to me because you were walking. You're like, well, I wish you would have told me that we would have to be walking through grass to get to this place.
Right.
Like everybody, every woman there was falling down.
Yeah. No, it's messy.
Which I wonder if she did on purpose. That would be... Whoa, cat fight.
Oh,
there's a cat
Jesus.
outside?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey, get down. Get down. Oh, don't you look at me like that.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
what
God.
are you gonna do, buddy?
What the hell just happened?
What was that?
Dottie? Wow. Cat fight? Yeah.
Damn, bro.
That was wild. I don't know who put the hole in the screen, if it was her or the other one, but...
It doesn't matter. I don't know.
God, relax, dude.
Hey.
No, you guys don't fight now.
Stop.
This is madness. Bro. Hey. Go. Stop. Don't hiss at me. You go away. I think you should... Wow. Wow.
Dude.
Big interruption.
Yeah. So there was a cat outside and somehow saw our cat in the window inside and decided they wanted to fight in between the screen there. So that was fun. That's a good time.
Yeah. Holy moly.
Yeah. Okay. What were we saying?
I don't even know. Okay,
All
let's
right.
see.
Well, anyway,
we were
move
talking
on.
about asphalt.
Something
Okay.
Yeah. The asphalt. We were talking about the
uncomfortable.
asphalt. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Woo. Another result of completing the park in a rush was that certain utility tests weren't completed by the time the gates opened. Now, remember, OSHA did not exist until 1971. So there weren't as many safety measures in place to make sure that things were just done correctly. This is one reason why on opening day there was a gas leak in Fantasyland.
That's right.
This actually completely shut down that land for several hours, and due to the unfinished and rushed utility work, Fantasyland's gas lines had not been fully pressure tested or sealed correctly, which caused them to malfunction.
Yeah, I think Stan talked about that in his book.
Yeah, I think so. And even though construction crews were working day and night due to the time constraints, some of the gas infrastructure was just left incomplete and or improperly installed.
Can you imagine? I mean, that could have been a disaster, a literal disaster. If someone back then smoking all over the place,
All the time.
that whole thing would have gone up, dude.
Absolutely. That is so dangerous. Yeah. It's wild. I immediately understood why OSHA exists.
See, and that's the thing, is that OSHA exists for a reason. These guardrails are in place, however overreaching at times.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
For the most part, they are here for us to, don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. They're here for us they're here to protect us.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of utilities, power was another ongoing issue on July 17th, 1955. Yeah. Again, Temperatures were over 100 degrees, which caused several areas of the park to intermittently lose power for minutes at a time. And this meant that the attractions lost power, causing them to stop working, and caused flickering and failed lights on some of the indoor dark rides. And now, while the heat did cause some of these outages, there was also another reason. Some of these electrical systems had not been tested under a full load and ended up just tripping circuits and causing shortouts. So, they just didn't practice anything.
They didn't have time. Friggin' Walt, dude, had to be on a schedule. He's like, we could do it, and they sort of did it, I guess.
I mean,
it's like building a car with no doors. Like, well, it's a car, yeah, sure, but you're gonna fall out of it, dude.
Yeah, he literally opened the doors, but
yeah, I have a car with no engine. Is it a car? I don't know, but but we're gonna sell it.
Yeah, exactly. So, additionally, some of the decorative lighting systems were also not working, and the path lighting was incomplete, which made parts of the park particularly hard to navigate, especially as the sun started setting.
People walked off into the distance and were never seen again.
Basically, they're still on Tom Sawyer's Island.
That's right.
In modern-day Disneyland, if there was a power outage or anything major like that, the entirety of the staff was going to know almost immediately, right? They're going to be communicated to by phone or text or walkie-talkie, but either way, everyone's going to know.
Sure.
But much like the other utilities that day, the telecommunications on opening day were also incomplete. The telephones were not working properly as their internal phone system wasn't fully operational. Now, this meant that cast members were unable to easily call for assistance or coordinate staff. They instead were forced to physically run messages in person across the park.
Oh, God. In 100-degree temperatures?
Yes.
Ugh.
Now, this
no, thank you,
no, it's
Walter.
terrible.
Yeah.
Now, this also meant that park security and first aid also had no reliable way to communicate in real time.
Oh, man, that's not good.
Now, on this day, guests who had gotten lost or injured experienced delayed responses from staff, of course. In fact, lost children were a serious issue on opening day due to the lack of signage and trained security.
Why didn't they just look at the app?
Right.
And then I don't understand.
Yeah,
man, boomers are so weird, dude. Just look at the app. You have to just look at it.
There were no cell phones in 1955.
Yeah, but there were apps, right?
No apps. No apps. So the Lost Children's Center was actually overwhelmed with some kids missing from their parents for hours.
Oh, can you imagine?
Ruins your whole day.
Dude.
Just ruins your whole day.
Dude. Well, and remember that time that Alice lost sight of us in Old Navy and wouldn't stop talking about it for a week?
She still talks about it.
Can you imagine being her age and being lost at Disneyland forever?
No. I don't think we could ever go back.
No, she would come home, she would dig a hole in the backyard, and she would live there forever like a mole or some kind of garden snake.
Be horrible. And so also, while not as serious as missing children, of course, this was an invite-only event with a lot of VIP guests. And with this lack of telecommunication, there was a lot of miscommunication. And some of the VIPs were misdirected or never really escorted properly, adding just to this public confusion.
Oh, well, we can't have that.
No,
we can't have the
VIPs.
the special people, the important ones, not getting to where they are told they're good and they got to go.
Of course.
How dare us.
Now, I do want to take a minute and talk about the idea of this event, it being invite only. Now, you'd think when you're only inviting roughly 15 to 20,000 people to this event, who, by the way, are friends and family and famous people, like that's the crowd, right? You have probably planned everything accordingly, right? And it should theoretically go off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the tickets that were given out for this event were surprisingly easy to copy. And this led to a lot of counterfeit tickets.
I love this.
And while they expected no more than 20,000 attendees, the actual number of people who came to Disneyland was closer to 35,000. Nearly half of the attendees that came through the gates came through with counterfeit tickets.
I wonder if they still have some of these counterfeit tickets back there.
I'd love to see one. Like I tried to Google image search and I couldn't find any, but I would love to see one.
You know what? That's a thing in archive. I wonder if I remember correctly, you can email archives and ask them questions. I wonder if that's a question that you can ask them.
That'd be fun.
I would love to see that. Just I don't know why. Just to know that it'd be funnier to know that they held on to it. Like this is going to be something that we need to worry about someday, or this is going to be an important part of our history.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing.
Well, this quote unquote too many people problem, it's a really big one.
Well, I'm sorry, you're probably going to mention this, so go ahead. And if you don't, then I'll throw this thing at you.
Okay. Well, first of all, traffic. Now, due to this influx of people, traffic backed up for 7 miles on the Santa Ana freeway. And now today, this doesn't seem like a big deal.
It's 7 mile backup?
Right. This probably happens like every single day and all times of the day. So it's not that big of a deal. But this was really odd and very heavy traffic and a heavy wait to get off the freeway during this time. And once you finally escaped the freeway and made it to the parking lot, you were not home free. The parking lot was not made big enough. And this was actually part of the reason that the traffic backed up onto the freeway. So to make matters worse, the parking lot wasn't finished, so there were no marked parking spaces. And there were no parking attendants, making this a sort of free-for-all parking thing. And
I love that.
It just led to chaos. It's like going to the county fair, but with nobody directing traffic and like pointing and telling you where to park.
Right.
So if you eventually found a parking spot and you made it through the gates on this day, you were probably thirsty. Now, especially since it's devastatingly hot and there wasn't a lot of shade yet in this park. Now, don't forget you can't count on drinking fountains. But luckily, there were restaurants and food stands, so you're fine. Some, however, were not expecting that many people on opening day, thus ran out of food and drinks within hours.
Oh, man.
Others were incomplete and ill-prepared, causing long lines and waits. And so restaurants could have been a good option, like a sit-down restaurant. Like that, okay, so you can't go get a hot dog. They ran out, but you can go to a restaurant, right? But they didn't have air conditioning. And because of that and because of the weather, they became virtually unusable on this day.
Ugh.
So you have...
It sounds miserable. It sounds absolutely miserable. I would never go back to this place.
Absolutely not. And it just keeps getting worse.
Okay.
Now, another issue with having too many people, way more than you expected, was that the few bathrooms that they did have prepared were not ready for that amount of people. And by midday, they experienced sewage problems due to system overload. And then, on another stinky note, there just weren't enough trash cans. They could not accommodate this many people with the amount of trash cans they had. So their trash cans remained overflowing with litter throughout most of the day.
It sounds, man, this is Firefest. This is the original Firefest.
It is Firefest. And it's also like the exact opposite of what Walt said his dream was, to have a clean park.
Sure.
Like, this is not what he wanted.
My vision is to find a home for cockroaches and rats.
Like, he probably had like 10 Scotch mists that day.
Oh, yeah. Well, but, probably more than his usual daily allotment.
Oh, well, yeah. Probably like 25. Yeah. So having this unexpectedly larger crowd, plus the extreme heat, caused a pretty serious safety concern for guests and cast members. Now, imagine. It's over 100 degrees. There's not a lot of shade. There's no drinking fountains. And there's only non-air conditioned indoor spaces. Heat exhaustion was a serious risk.
Let me just say, I would bet dollars to donuts that man was in his air conditioned apartment, just ripping cig after cig.
Oh, probably.
Pacing around, but relatively cool, because I guarantee you do not let Walter Elias Disney's air conditioning go out.
No,
you do
he
not
wasn't
allow
struggling
that.
that day.
Absolutely not. No.
No, the fans and the misters at Disneyland had not been installed yet, and many people suffered from dehydration and heat-related illnesses.
Sure. Well, and, most of the clothes that day were wool anyways, too, right? Like, God, dude.
Not to mention first aid couldn't even get a hold of people to help them. I mean, these people's days were ruined. This is actually a piece of good news. There was also a huge fire risk from these heat.
That is good news.
No, I'm getting to it.
Oh, okay.
From the heat and the crowds. This was a real concern, especially since emergency protocols were untested. They didn't even test their emergency protocols.
Dottie's looking again, man. She's looking for a
The
fight.
window is closed. You're done.
Yeah, you're out.
done.
You won. You won
done.
that round, buddy.
Stop.
I'll get the spray bottle,
She
brother.
keeps hissing at me.
I know. I hiss at you too. You tell me what to do.
Where was I?
I don't know. Opening day at Disneyland.
The fire. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so there was a fire risk because they had not practiced their emergency protocols. And so some of the fire doors and the systems were actually not even fully installed. Now, luckily, this is the one thing that did not become an issue. There was not a fire at Disneyland, thankfully, because their fire doors weren't even completely installed.
This is the same thing. Like, well, I wore a seatbelt all my life. I haven't worn a seatbelt all my life. I'm still alive.
Well,
We drank from the hose as kids. We're fine.
yeah, but that's
We're
not the
fine.
same as...
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Do we need fire doors? Because
We do need fire doors.
because there wasn't a
No, yep.
fire.
But we still need them. The 35...
Overreach. Government overreach.
No.
I'm on the side of no OSHA now, bro.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, you've got to be asking yourself, like, with all that could potentially and, like, did go wrong, why didn't Walt simply postpone the opening? Like, why not just wait another month?
Why not just climb up the top of the Matterhorn and swan dive off at that point?
Well, Matterhorn didn't exist yet.
Yeah, well, space, whatever existed, whatever high point existed.
Okay,
Castle.
well, sure.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
No, Matterhorn, what are you, friggin' Disney podcaster?
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm a Disney historian.
Okay, great.
Well, Walt, he was a very popular guy at the time. He was on TV a lot. He had his own shows, one of which was about the construction of Disneyland. He had weekly updates on how the park was coming along. And due to that fact, and the fact that he was like transparent about the whole thing, but he also has a little bit of an ego. I think we can all accept that about him.
You have to. If you're on TV or in any sort of public eye, you have an ego.
And Walt did.
Of course.
So he just couldn't go back on his word. He had told the world that his park was going to be complete in a year, and he was showing people that it was going to be complete in a year.
Yeah.
And he had to complete it in a year.
Well, there were no episodes of the Disneyland TV show about the plumbing.
No.
Or the electricity. So, hey,
Everything
kids,
was going perfect.
I want to share with you, electricity is our friend.
Right.
So today in the Disneyland park, we've been testing everything under load. Do you know what that means? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not getting into the nitty gritty.
No, man. No, that's probably why you didn't do it. You forgot.
Now, another reason that it would have been difficult to move the opening date is that Walt wanted this opening day to be broadcast live to viewers at home. Now, this was a pretty innovative move. Up until this point in 1955, you really only saw live TV on the news. No one was doing live TV like Walt had planned for this event. So, on ABC at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, Art Linkletter, Bob Cummings, and Ronald Reagan hosted Disneyland's grand opening live television special.
Yeah, 2 out of 3, man.
Because of the nationwide anticipation of the opening of Disneyland, this special had a huge, massive audience. Somewhere between 70 and 90 million people watched this live.
God.
Now that, just to put it in perspective, was about 54% of the U.S. population at the time. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Now, this was the largest live production ever attempted, utilizing 24 cameras and a staff of hundreds. Now, if you read about this on the Disney website, they curiously say, and I quote, "It went off with relatively few miscues." Now, this is a suspect statement, since from everything that I read, the broadcast was basically a huge mess. The video and audio transmission kept cutting out. The cameras were constantly out of focus. And there were a lot of awkward moments.
If you've ever watched this, you can go on YouTube and look it up.
Yeah.
It's terrible quality.
Yes.
And it's awkward as hell. It's very amateurish and very weird. But also charming in a weird way.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's just Disneyland, right? But
Sure.
if it was like a Walmart opening, it'd be weird.
It might be different. Yeah. So some of these awkward moments, Walt was introducing Tomorrowland and his mic didn't have a signal and they were live. So he just sort of like stood there awkwardly while they fixed it. There was another moment when Art Art Linkletter lost his microphone. I guess he just set it down somewhere.
Heavy drinking.
Yeah. Ronald Reagan also went off script because he simply just forgot his lines and started ad-libbing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But
I wonder who you blamed for it.
Yeah. But one of the most awkward moments was when Bob Cummings was caught kissing a dancer on camera.
Yay! Consensually or?
Well,
okay.
Some sources say that Cummings was known to sneak off between segments for celebratory drinks.
Yay!
And that by this
Bob
point
Cummings.
And that by this point in the day he was visibly intoxicated.
Yeah, man. What is it about Disneyland and Bob's?
I know. Ugh. And during a cutaway or transition of one of the cameras, a cameraman caught Cummings backstage grabbing and kissing a dancer, only to quickly regain composure once he saw the camera.
Oh, my Lord. Was he married at the time or, you know?
You know, I meant to look that up and I don't know, but what a mess. I mean, he was a known TV personality and he was known for being very flirtatious. So it probably wasn't super surprising.
Flirtatious in the 50s
is grabbing and kissing someone.
Yeah, is SA now. Like, yeah, that's bad.
It's like not good.
Yeah,
No.
so it's not as cool. See, this is what I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out out of context, right? Because I can't ever know.
Yeah.
But on the one hand, hey man, use your celebrity. You're making out with chicks.
Oh my God.
You're doing. But that's why. Is it consensual? That's awesome. If you were just being a creep, go away.
Well, I guess that's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, can it be consensual when he's like a super famous person and like she's?
You know what?
I don't know.
That is so far above my pay grade.
It's
I
a
have no
big
idea.
question. So, anyway, it would not fly today.
No. Well, I don't know. I mean,
No.
if it's consensual, sure, why not? Who cares?
Did you
right?
see? I'm gonna go off topic for 1 second.
The Coldplay concert? Yes, bro.
I love that like the Coldplay guy was like on stage and like
So
called it out.
for context, everybody, there's video going around on like TikTok specifically is where we saw it, but it's like the crowd camera at the Coldplay concert, which first of all, it's 2025. I didn't think I would say at the Coldplay concert.
Oh, they're huge.
Relative to, recent. But there was like the crowd camera focused on this man and this woman, and they were like kind of like cuddling, watching the thing, and they saw they were on the Jumbotron, and their faces turned beet red, and they actually like ducked down and turned away. And the singer of Coldplay is like, oh, well, either they're having an affair or they're just really shy. And there's like a lady just cracking up. You know the face you make when you're like, I can't believe what's happening and I can't do anything about it but laugh. Well, it turns out they were having an affair.
Yeah.
He's the CEO of some company and she's the CFO or whatever. He just promoted her. And then the lady next to them who was laughing was the just promoted head of HR.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so the man's wife, as soon as that video started making the rounds, locked down all her socials, changed her last name back to her maiden name.
Ooh.
It's over. It's over for that dude. Yeah. And so, yeah, there you go. And, people in the comments of some of the posts I saw were like, if they had just waved, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal.
It's true. I mean, he did have his arms around her. Like, it was very... But it would have been
people
better.
were due because people wouldn't have known there was something wrong to then share that footage on socials, right?
That's true.
So he fully ducks down and she spins around. It is embarrassing.
Oh,
you guys
so
gotta
bad.
find that. It is super duper
literally
embarrassing.
caught red-handed.
Oh my God, bro.
Okay. But anyway, back to Disneyland's issues.
Yes, please.
So even though the 90-minute live special ran long and did miss some key attractions at the park.
Like the Matterhorn.
Like the Matterhorn.
Yeah.
It was still one of the most watched specials in live specials in history. Now, I want to jump back for a second to what this experience was like for people at the park that day.
What are you, James Brown?
So far, we've talked about a lot of issues with infrastructure, but there was a lot of other problems with the operations of the park.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
No.
Okay.
Jump back.
Yeah, no, I know. I got it.
I hate laughing at my own jokes, but sometimes you just got to do it, man.
From the staff to attractions, things were just not running smoothly. Now, to start, many of the cast members were untrained and unfamiliar with their roles. They were only hired a few days before opening.
Well, also, I'm sorry to cut you off, not to mention, the rides didn't even exist
2
for
days
like
ago.
4 months. You know what I mean? Or they were probably just finished a month previous.
Right.
And then you have to do the hiring for that specific. Of course not.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even thought of that.
Right. There's like no time to train.
Right. Yeah.
There's nothing to train on yet.
Sure. Yeah. This cardboard cutout represents the control panel.
Yeah, exactly. Also, their costumes didn't fit because they were just hired. Like, I mean, that
Sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But especially for the characters. And Mickey Mouse and Pluto's costumes were literally falling apart. And this was partly due to excessive sweating from the heat, which just sounds incredibly miserable.
Yeah, dude. No good.
There was also the problem that has since been fixed. I mean, a lot of these have been fixed since
Of course.
then. But,
Yes. Right. Right.
They didn't make the character integrity a priority, meaning that if you maybe saw Mickey Mouse on Main Street
Yeah.
and then walked 20 feet to Tomorrowland, you might see another Mickey Mouse.
Oh, they didn't space it out or figure out. They didn't. Yeah.
And this really confused the poor kids. And ultimately this became one of Disneyland's operational rules that only one type of character can be visible in the park at a time, which is a good rule to have. These poor kids were probably freaking out.
Yeah.
Or thinking that there's some sort of time loop or something. And speaking of untrained cast members, let's talk about the 9 out of 20 attractions that had issues during opening day.
Let's do it.
Now, first up, the Jungle Cruise. The original skippers on the Jungle Cruise weren't trained well enough and had trouble narrating while simultaneously piloting the boat, which led to a few boat collisions. Naturally.
See, I'm all right with that. That's fine. I know they didn't start off making the jokes, but man,
Yeah.
come on now.
They did have a hard time, though.
Yeah.
Additionally, several attractions that were supposed to be open opened on opening day either didn't open or had to close early. The Dumbo ride was not operational at all. Rocket to the Moon had to close early due to a malfunction. Skyway to Tomorrow didn't get quite finished in time and couldn't open. Peter Pan's flight broke down multiple times throughout the day, and the staff were actually redirecting guests and staff to the carousel. The Stagecoach on Main Street had to close because it flipped over too easily. And the Mad Tea Party had some serious...
It flipped over too easily. So that means that it flipped over.
It flipped over.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure
And
that's...
to me, I didn't read this, but to me that means multiple times. Like,
Sure.
if it... But maybe not. But like either way, yeah, it flipped over.
All right.
So not good. Maybe it didn't have people on it. I don't know. But just
I feel
not...
like if it had people in it, I would have heard the
I
story
think so,
before.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just in practice runs or whatever.
Yeah, but they had to shut it down. And the Mad Tea Party had some serious mechanical issues, causing it to shut down for several hours right after the park opened.
Yeah, it's weird. It made people sick to ride. So they
Weird.
had to...
Yeah, there's a lot of vomit to clean up.
Yeah, it's all odd.
2 attractions, however, had extremely significant issues. The first was the Mark Twain Riverboat. Now, aside from underestimating the amount of guests to arrive on opening day, they also underestimated the amount of people who would try to ride the Mark Twain boat. Now, the boat's capacity was set to about 300 people, which to me sounds enormous already.
That sounds like a lot. Yeah.
But this was an estimate, and it wasn't based on anything legal since there weren't any enforced limits at the time.
I don't know about 200-300, I guess.
Yeah,
All right,
just-
300 it is. Let's float it.
Just call it.
Yeah.
Cast members also weren't counting heads. They weren't counting up to 300 and going, okay, that's enough.
Of course not.
And so on at least one trip around the rivers of America, the boat was grossly overloaded with approximately 500 guests on board.
Well, how did they know if they weren't counting, right?
Well, it was overloaded.
Okay.
Partway through this trip, it began to sink. It also became dislodged from its submerged rail, and it nearly capsized.
Oh, my God. This is what I'm saying. Can you imagine if any one of these things had happened, but let's just say the Mark Twain capsized or started to sink.
Yeah.
forget about it. Forget about it. I feel like the state would have come in and shut that down.
It would be done. It would be all over TikTok. There would be so many lawsuits. It would be insane.
Yeah.
Also, just to note.
I meant back then. I wasn't referring to anything but TikTok, but.
Oh, I thought you were just.
That's you.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. But also, many of the guests on this particular trip around the rivers of America had to wade through the river to get ashore. Like, that's how in the water it was. Really bad.
Love it.
Now, okay, let's just say being on a sinking boat's not your style.
Yeah. Let's say you're afraid.
Let's say that's just not what you want. Maybe.
Yeah. You're taking the coward's way.
Right. You're more comfortable in a car.
Yeah.
Let's go ride Autopia. What could go wrong?
Sure.
A lot. The original Autopia cars were not equipped with bumpers, which was just simply an oversight.
Yeah, come on, Bob Gersey. Again, another Bob.
It's just something that they didn't think about.
No.
And riders of all ages, but a lot of children. I mean, even to this day, that is a kid's ride. They ended up slamming into each other at full throttle, causing literally constant collisions. And there weren't any height requirements at the time, so many of these children could barely see over the steering wheel.
That's so good, dude.
Now, in addition to that, due to this, again, rush to finish the park, the original Autopia cars were poorly assembled and super flimsy. By the end of day one of Disneyland being open, nearly all of the cars were either damaged or completely inoperable. As few as 3 to 4 cars were still running out of the fleet of 40.
Jeez.
I mean, that's bad.
That is bad.
That's so... Now, whether it be mechanical, heat-related, infrastructure, or operational, Disneyland's first day had unimaginable and innumerable issues. 70 years ago today, guests were sinking into asphalt, getting whiplash on Autopia, or suffering from heat stroke with cast members having no way to contact first aid. It honestly seems like a miracle to me that they could even push past these issues to become successful. But they did, obviously, and within 2 months of opening, they welcomed their 1 millionth guest. Today, the 160 acres of former orange groves welcomes more than 17 million guests per year. So they not only overcame their tribulations, but they pushed on to become, 70 years later, still the happiest place on earth.
Very good, Taren.
Thank you.
Wow.
I would have not wanted to be there that day.
No, well, and I wonder what the vibe was the next day.
Yeah.
You know, with the cast members and Walt and, you know, what the conversations were and how late that man was up trying to figure everything out. And just the how you overcome the first day. To me, that would be a fascinating examination. I mean, I don't know that any of that literature exists, but like it would be very interesting to figure it out because that's the stuff. How do you overcome those mountains?
I don't know. I feel like that was the night that he got lung cancer.
Probably, dude.
Like he probably smoked 18 packs that night.
Ripping darts, you know, like it's got to cope with it.
Insane. Just so like it's like everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Basically.
Like I can't even think of
the castle almost exploded.
Like
the boat almost turned over.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just so
People
bad.
almost sunk into the swamps of sadness.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, everybody, hang on real quick. We're going to come back. There's a little bit of Disney news to talk about. I found some cool articles to talk about for the 70th, and then we'll split. So hang on. It's Ears Up. We'll be right back.
And now, back to the show that ignites your dream wish of imaginations and magical color wonderment of forever. Ears Up.
All right, thanks, announcer man.
Very nice.
You know what? It is 82.0 degrees in here, and what I wish I had was a hell or high watermelon wheat from the 21st Amendment, because that's how we stay cool in the Bay Area, folks, in the summertime. Especially in the summertime runs basically from March to October.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know what I mean?
It does kind of suck. Like, I really want October to be a cold month, and it's not. And it never is, and I pretend like it is, but it's not.
I tell you, I feel like such the we used to drink from the water fountain or from the garden hose kind of guy when I think about how cold it used to be in fall. How we used to have a fall season where we used to, you know, September is when it started to get cold. October was generally kind of cold. It used to rain,
Here's a
in
question,
the
though.
spring. And then that doesn't happen anymore.
Do you think that it really changed that much? Or do you think this was a thing where like moms like went and like made you wear sweaters
No.
because it was quote unquote fall and it was quote unquote cold?
No, I remember walking to school and it was like just freezing cold. You know what I mean? And then when you get to school, then you have to like take your jacket off and you have your hoodie. So your hoodie, your jacket, your jeans, you're walking through crunchy grass. You don't see crunchy grass anymore. What happened to crunchy grass?
I don't know. I don't remember this. So
Well, you probably got chauffeured to school by your dad. So, you know what I mean? What do you You
Oh.
you probably didn't have to walk through
no,
a field.
I didn't walk to school.
No, I had to walk through a couple fields.
No.
But you know what I mean? And maybe I'm just getting older and you sort of like,
In my day.
yeah, and I don't want to be that person because I think it is very clear the climate has changed.
Well, of course, yeah.
You know, and so that's kind of what I'm referencing, where it's like it is very different these days. Back, comparatively.
Yeah.
But
for
then
sure.
you hear about 100-degree day in Anaheim. I feel like that's rare even now.
Right.
So who knows, man?
I don't know.
But a one-off versus like seasonally, California has 2 seasons: hot or not as hot.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's true.
We used to have 2.5. They're taking our seasons away.
There you are.
Anyway, so 21st Amendment. Check it out. Find out wherever you can buy 21st Amendment near you, wherever good craft beer is sold. If you have a good beer store near you or a bar that you kind of go to every once in a while, or even a restaurant, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to say that you can only get beer at these shady liquor stores with the black plastic bag and, whatever. But ask them if they can order some 21st Amendment if they don't already have it, or if they have different kinds you want to try. Get a variety or two. Sully does a lot of variety packs. So, check him out. Support the best brewery that you can find anywhere, basically. And I'm going to say that, and Sully's going to listen to it and go, why did you say that? I'm like, because, Sully, it's true.
It is true.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And if you're in the Bay Area, hit up their location at 563 2nd Street, just 2 blocks from Giant Stadium in San Francisco, California, and then also over in San Leandro in some other place.
In an address.
In an address unfamiliar to me. Not
But that's
beaten
what
into my
Google's
head.
for.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Everybody can Google these.
But that's where we go. We go to the San Leandro spot. So check that out. And if you want to hear more of Sully, if you want to hear Sully's dulcet tones,
Oh, yeah.
he and I recorded the very latest Pyramid Eye of the Ears show, and that's on Patreon. So if you're not a Patreon supporter and you want to support content like this and also get bonus content that you don't hear on the normal feeds, this is totally original programming, original reporting, original researching by yours truly, and then other people who do stuff on the shows. But specifically for the Pyramid Eye of the Ears, Sully and I did one just the other week. I think it's a couple weeks old. So check that out. It was a lot of fun. It was great to have him on and, stuff like that.
What was the topic of that one?
The topic was Aerojet, the company Aerojet, and their ties to Disney and also the occult in Los Angeles in the 1950s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very loosely. I mean, you're talking loose connections all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the fun,
That's
man.
the fun of it.
That's the fun of researching. So
Exactly.
check that stuff out. Okay, let's do some
Disney news.
March in the past, present, and future with all the news that's fit to cover. It's the Ears Up Disney News.
All right. Like I said, this is all going to be very 70th heavy,
Okay.
which is fine.
Well,
I mean,
it
that's
is
what
the
we're here for.
70th birthday today.
Right?
So
And
it
so
makes
there's a lot of
sense.
stuff to talk about. So this is one of the things I was talking about, I think pre-show or maybe before, maybe at the beginning of the show, I forget. The title of this is Disneyland's new attraction has guests crying tears of joy, cheering.
Sorry, but I don't want to be mean, but
Then I would suggest not saying anything. It's Disneyland's 70th birthday today, and the company is marking the occasion with an unprecedented move. On Thursday, what may be the only new attraction for years debuted. What may be the only new attraction for years.
okay.
So from now, yeah, okay.
I
I mean,
doubt that.
I guess. Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, here's the
It's a
thing.
weird thing to say.
Maybe I think it's a weird turn of phrase. It's a weird thing to put in, but also this person is probably not wrong, but maybe is the caveat. Like, I don't know. Maybe
Right.
not.
They're saying it as like a statement, but it's really
Yeah.
not.
It's an animatronic version of Walt Disney himself in a show called Walt Disney: A Magical Life, which launched July 17th at the Main Street Opera House. As of now, it's the only show playing in this space, but eventually it will run in rotation with the original 1964 Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Okay.
The movie is a compilation of archival footage of Disney and is largely narrated by the man himself. The audio clips are from interviews he gave before his death in 1966, talking about his early days in animation, his first business going broke, losing the rights to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and ultimately sketching Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie, which set him on the path to create Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And then, of course, Walt Disney standing there. The audio animatronic figure is ambitious, the most technologically advanced the park has ever debuted. Disney is leaning on the desk in his early 1960s Walt Disney Studios office. He eventually stands and then goes back into a lean.
Okay.
His hands make unmistakably Disney-ish movements. I don't know what that means. His actual voice comes from the stage, and his facial movements are convincingly eerie and lifelike.
Eerie is a weird way for an article to describe something. Because it is eerie that they even did this.
You don't? I tend to agree. I think eerie was a weird choice because eerie is a negative.
Yes, exactly. It sounds like the whole article is really positive, but
maybe that's what they mean. I mean, maybe it is a little eerie.
Yeah.
So, I imagine this person is a seasoned journalist. I can't imagine that they're just like picking things willy-nilly. But
well, and to be honest with you, I think that the Lincoln one is also very eerie. I don't actually like it. It scares me.
No, I think it's
Freaks
creepy.
me out.
In the audience, which included media and content creators, as well as many Disney staff members, I saw more than a few people wiping away tears. I mean, that's it.
I'm trying to think. Like, I can be very emotional, especially at Disneyland. Things can really get to me. I don't think I would tear up watching that.
I wouldn't eat. I know that I wouldn't. And, maybe because, again, I'm a high value man. Why are you laughing? Why does that make you laugh every time I say that?
Nothing.
You've told me you want me to open up more and bare my soul.
Yeah.
And I do, and you laugh.
I didn't mean to bare your soul on air. Maybe.
Oh. No, I wouldn't shed tears either because I've never met this person. I don't know. You know what I mean? I understand that it's a representation of the absolute best parts of this person. Mm-hmm. This person was not this way 24/7. Nobody is, right? That's not a knock on him. It's just that's what it is. So I don't know. It's like crying at a statue. I feel like it just seems a little odd, but I do know that Disney represents this weird point in our culture where it is responsible for so much of what we consume these days, what we see, how we feel about media, how we feel about theme parks, how we engage and interact with brands. It is such a founding fathers moment.
Yeah.
I guess I could concede okay, it might make people, emotional, but I don't know. It seems anyway.
I guess I'm hoping that it's the story that he's telling that makes people emotional, not the idea that they're looking at a fake Walt. Because to me, there's just a disconnect there for me.
Well, so here we go on to the article. This person says, but something struck me as slightly off. I loved almost everything, down to the man's signature gray suit and Smoke Tree Ranch tie. But Walt's face just didn't look like Walt. It would have been easier to squint and buy into the illusion if I hadn't just watched 15 minutes of archival footage of the actual person, but immediately after having such firm images of him planted into my brain, it was hard to overlook. Disney's face is narrow with a sharp chin. The animatronic's face was broader and fatter, with a more pronounced double chin. If you had shown me the face and no contextual details like his clothing or setting, I'm not sure Walt Disney would have been my first guess.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to be here on opening day, seeing the show with the general public for the first time. This audience doesn't compromise, blah, 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 blah. Thursday, I didn't see tears, but I did hear cheers. A huge chorus of them erupting after the final curtain closed. The animatronic I saw Thursday looked more like Disney than it did on Monday. But I think Imagineers will still continue to refine its appearance and get closer to the real band. Okay, so this is interesting. And when this was posted in our Discord, which you can join in the link on the show notes, everybody, that was my first thought. Like, they got to fix this. They have to adjust it. There's still time to adjust the lighting and whatever. Because I was mentioning that our friend who works at the parks saw it without show lighting and just movements, no sound, no lights, or not no lights, but house lights. And he said it looked pretty good. So it sounds like a lot of it comes down to the lighting, how it's lit. But then, like we just heard from Erik, that's not necessarily the case, because people he went with were sat in the fourth row and said that does not look good.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. I guess you see what you want to see, man.
Well, like, if you've seen the video, and by the time you listen to this, I'm sure you have, it's like what the article said. Like, the face is too wide.
It's too wide.
He has a thin face.
Yeah.
He has a small, thin face. Also, he is not shown smiling a lot often. He seems like a pretty serious guy. He has a friendly face, but he's not smiling really big. And in the video that I saw, he looks like he's smile talking the entire time.
Because he is. Yeah, he is.
And that's weird.
And it affects your cheeks. You know, if
Yeah.
you're smiling like this and you're doing this, you just then you have it limits your facial expressions. But I will say, what I think they did get right from that face is the eyes. I think the eyes can really represent people. He has very twinkly, smiley eyes.
Yeah.
And so when they're on, that's it. For me, everything else is just completely wrong. His eyebrows are too big. His forehead isn't big enough.
His mustache is too thick.
It's weird. It's weird. So, but it sounds like from that other article, maybe they've changed some stuff. And I feel like they're going to continue just like the opening day.
Yeah.
Continue to
exactly.
refine and make it look a little better. But like, I feel like they should have. And it sounds like maybe they were just kind of rushed. I don't know.
I also feel sort of like they made the decision to make an older Walt, like when he was just older. And I kind of feel like the image that everyone has in our brains of Walt is like younger, is like 1955 Walt. And I think there's a big difference between those two Walts. And I think that's part of the problem, too. I think they just made him a little too old.
And it's possible.
For, like, what's in everyone's brain.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit more about what people can expect from going to the Disneyland 70th. So we talked about the animatronic, and apparently there's changes at A Small World as well. It's A Small World, excuse me.
Oh, really?
Inside the Main Street Cinema, guests can watch a new film called The Last Verse. This short film is about the Sherman Brothers, a songwriting duo who often collaborated with Walt Disney and their song, It's a Small World. The duo also wrote popular songs like The Tiki Room. I'm not going to say all the tikis because I don't want to do it. And then Mary Poppins songs. I don't want to say that word either. Anyway, according to the Disney Parks blog, the film will unveil a new verse written by Richard M. Sherman for It's a Small World attraction in his final Disney contribution. And I think we've talked about this a little bit when it was first announced.
Okay.
Which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
In honor of the catchy tune's 60th anniversary, Disneyland announced that it would add the third and final verse to the It's a Small World attraction beginning today, on Thursday.
All right.
So that's cool. So if you're going there, you can hear the brand new Sherman Brothers verse.
Lovely.
Yeah. The Main Street Opera House has 2 new gallery exhibits created in collaboration with the Walt Disney Film Museum. One exhibit, well, I was wondering when they were going to start, if they worked together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know that
would make sense.
That the Family Museum pulled stuff. I know there was a connection that they worked together in some level, but it's neat having stuff in collaboration with the Family Museum in the parks. That feels cool.
Yeah.
Feels full circle. One exhibit will trace the evolution of Walt Disney's dream of Disneyland through rare images, artwork, and never-before-seen artifacts. Another will explore the development of audio animatronics technology.
Cool.
This is a quote from the Disney Parks blog. They say, quote, among the treasures on loan in the gallery will be original items from Walt's private apartment above the fire station on Main Street. These items include an original rocking chair, lamp, and table, all of which have never been publicly exhibited at Disneyland Park before. I can't think of anything I would rather see than an old lamp.
And a rocking chair.
That is so amazing to me.
Really?
The fact that, no.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
I was like,
What the most boring setup in the entire industry? What is a lamp? Hey, that's Walt Disney's lamp. He turned that on once to find his belt so he can chase after Diane with. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. I want to see his Tom and Jerry set.
Yeah, right.
I want to see his liquor cabinet.
Other notable items on display will include Walt Disney's 1955 Emmy Award for the Walt Disney's Disneyland television series, which if you go to the Walt Disney Family Museum, they're all there. It's kind of neat. It's pretty impressive, actually. Most of his like awards are just there in the kind of lobby. It's pretty wild. His Presidential Medal of Freedom awarded by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1964. And the Walt Disney, which should have been President Kennedy, just saying, and the Walt Disney Commemorative Medal presented to Lillian Disney by President Richard Nixon in 1969. So neat.
Nice.
Yeah, so some
cool.
cool historical things.
Yeah, I like that.
This is an article with a chat from a non-Bob, famously non-Bob Josh D'Amaro on Disneyland's future.
Okay. I like Joshy.
Yeah. Disneyland turns 70 on Thursday. This is from, I don't know who's saying this. How are you thinking about Disneyland as it hits that milestone? And what are some of the things you hope to bring to the resort as it continues to evolve? Tomorrow. 70 years old, but we're not really that old. If you think about walking inside of Disneyland today, those connections that Walt probably experienced when he was in the park in 1955, those connections are still playing out today as you walk down Main Street. They are truly timeless. Josh, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Those are two sentences that mean nothing. Literally.
It's connections to the past.
What are you talking
Connections
about?
to other people, being around folks, enjoying your family, connection.
That doesn't even answer the question. How are you feeling about Disneyland? Well, it's not that old. Walt probably felt connections.
It doesn't answer the question
and so
at all.
then these connections are timeless. Is that's how you're feeling, that they're connecting people? Then say that. I love Disneyland is still connecting people after 70 years. This is amazing. He goes on. So I think that Walt and then we have done an amazing job of keeping that spirit of Disneyland alive and well right up until today.
And now it's done.
Yeah. Tomorrow's a different story. It's interesting, when Walt was pushing on the idea of Disneyland, he knew that great stories combined with, at the time for him, cutting edge technology, and then this idea of an immersive physical experience that would set the Walt Disney Company apart. And I think that's where we sit today. I don't think there's any other company in the world that is like the Walt Disney Company. Yeah, I know.
What else is he supposed to say? What would you say?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
The last line, because there's as where we sit today, I don't think there's any other company in the world that is like Universal theme parks. Of course not. There's no other podcast like Ears Up. The planet, they don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not an answer to a question. You're just filling and every time this man talks, and it's all corporate people. This is why I poke fun a lot at the PR side of the company, because it's just, well, coach, how did your team do? Well, we didn't play our game, you know what I mean? But we'll be back. We'll practice. We'll hit the practice field, and we'll practice. Hey, coach, what's your plan for the game? Well, we're gonna make them play our game. We're just gonna go ahead. We worked hard. It's just the same stuff. It's the same nonsense. It makes no sense. Just don't even interview them.
Yeah. I mean, you're never going to get any real answers from these people.
I know, but I really want them, Taren. I really want them. Walt kind of made a point. This is another question. Walt kind of made a point that Disneyland was never finished, right? It's always going to continue evolving and changing. One of the things that I know that you've done in your tenure is refreshing it, adding new things. Just in the last decade or so, you've added Avengers Campus, Pixar Pier, and some of the rides there. How do you think about how you've tried to leverage Disney's IP, and certainly some of the more recent acquisition, into Disneyland, taking this idea that it's never really done, it's always changing? Yes, I love the fact that Walt started Disneyland that way, and 70 years later, we're thinking about that in exactly the same way. It's a fine balance, Alex, between celebrating and respecting tradition and legacy and still pushing it forward. You still want to be able to celebrate the memories that you had as a child with your family as you walk down Main Street. but you want to know that there's something new all the time. Every visit that you have at Disneyland, and we do both things at once. We're going to make sure. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? That to me is a little bit more of a decent answer. Like, I get that. I respect that. I think I value that. And I mean, he's right. That has got to be one of the hardest jobs, is to greenlight just demolishing certain aspects of this park to then build something new. But then what do you keep that's new? I mean, you're never going to please everybody.
No. And you're actually going to make people really mad no matter what you decide.
Yeah.
Like me.
Exactly. Exactly like you. This is an article about if you like theme parks, think Disneyland.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the headline is the story.
Yeah.
That's not a very good article either. Oh, I thought this was interesting. So, you know, the cigar store Indian on Main Street. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was in front of the tobacco shop there, and now it's, you know, wherever it is, or whatever's in front. There's a plaque now by something called the New Century Historical Society.
Okay. And
I don't know. I'm curious on your thoughts about who this could be, who put this here potentially.
What was it?
The New Century Historical Society.
I don't know. It sounds like a cult.
Oh, well, literally the next thing it says a fictional preservation society.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Never mind that. But I'm curious to know your take on why it's here. Like what the point is.
I think.
Well, you haven't heard it, so why don't you slow down a little bit, Chachi? Okay, slow down.
I already have an idea.
Calm down. But you don't even know what it says.
I know.
It could say Taren has 3 eyes and we just can't see the third one because her hair is too long.
Okay.
You don't know. You have no idea.
I don't know.
Says Walt said never do content on the radio. Okay, it says carved wooden cigar store Indian sculptures were common in towns across the United States. Shops used emblems and icons like spinning barber poles to advertise their wares and service to the largely illiterate public. Now considered a form of folk art, this statue has stood on Main Street since its early days, advertising the tobacco shop once located here. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's it.
It's a disclaimer.
That's what I think.
It's a cute way of being like, we're not being racist. We are not culturally appropriating.
That was my take too.
We are just, this is why this is here.
Yeah. That's exactly my take as well.
Yeah. Which is a good way to do it. I like that they're not taking it away, and I like that they're explaining it. I think it makes sense. It's the right way to handle that. Yeah,
I think so too. I think... I don't know. At the same time, it does still feel a little weird. It just feels a little. It feels a little weird to see the cigar store Indian right there. I don't know. Because I wonder if it's an accurate representation of Indians in the region, Native Americans in the region. You know what I mean? Or I understand it's folk art. I understand that. But it always just kind of seems a little naughty.
Well, I think it is, and I don't think it's meant to represent actual Native American. I think it's. I mean, that was the initial intention back then, but like, I think the point is to match the decor of the 1920s. At a cigar shop.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And I think for a while there, a lot of cigar stores and places had them out there because it's like the barber pole.
Yeah, and I guess that's what I mean is I think it's probably accurate to whatever those statues
folk
look
art.
like.
Yeah, right.
Not accurate to.
No, I agree.
Humans.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, I have a hard time these days as I get older getting on board with it unless it's, I don't know, correct and it serves a point other than like, well, it's art. Yeah, but a lot of stuff is art that doesn't need to be art.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's one of the things. I'm not going to like raise a stink about it or go on change.org. You know what I mean? I'm just passing thought.
No, and I think this is one of those things. This is one of those tough decisions that Josh tomorrow has to make where if you take this out of the park, people are going to be really mad. Yeah. If you leave it in the park, people are going to be mad.
Heavy is the head that wears the pomade to keep the hairs
and those
in
tight
place.
Pants.
I know, right? That man's not getting deep vein thrombosis anytime soon.
No.
And the last thing I want to talk about real fast is the Disneyland Resort 70th Collection, which features walkthroughs and cinematic ride-alongs on some of Disneyland's most iconic attractions. Those are all just on Disney Plus. They're POV ride-along videos, which, by the way,
That's cool.
Disneyland, the parks should have gotten into this game decades ago.
Yeah.
As soon as they saw little dorky, YouTubers recording their ride-alongs and then, getting thousands of views on it.
Yeah.
They should have been like, that's what we're doing. We're taking all that content back and we're doing it better because you don't have someone else's flash going off and you don't hear babies crying and all that nonsense.
And then they should have doubled down when VR devices became popular.
Yeah, just don't take my idea. That's my idea. You can't ever say that because it's my idea.
I know it's your idea. I wasn't
I don't see the
claiming
credit.
the idea.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. And then so people were really excited, yours truly, also because this is something I've been talking about forever. A lot of people have. I'm not saying I'm special. However, I'm a high-value male. We know that. We've already established that. Taren already mentioned that. But apparently, just kind of classic Disney, they didn't really do the thing. They actually made it harder on themselves to make the content they produced. So a lot of the ride-alongs are kind of chopped up. They take some of the scenes out.
Really? That's not a ride-along then.
I agree. And then the audio is dubbed over, so it's not like audio from inside the ride, like recorded as you're going through the ride. It's like the soundtrack is playing.
Okay.
But as a result, apparently on some of them, the soundtrack is misplaced. It's not where it is in the ride usually.
It's like they don't know their audience. Like, do you know that everyone's going to notice that? Like the people that care to watch one of these POV videos is going to notice that. It's like they just don't know their audience sometimes. That is strange.
I think it's weird. I found it really odd also, and I don't know the point of it. I don't necessarily understand why. Yeah, I don't understand why. I guess
why is just money, but they just do it wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
And I think, and my only thought is like maybe they don't want it to be the exact ride to give you a reason to go to Disneyland, but like
I think that's insane though.
We already have that reason. Like, get over it.
Well, but also it's the ride-alongs are already on. There's companies who like do a really good job of it recording. It's not all just like YouTuber nonsense, but there's a lot of stuff that's really good about it. So you can go online and see these things, and they're updated all the time. We already have this content. So if you're going to do it, I think you need to do it a lot better than other people are doing it.
For sure.
It's kind of like if you can't do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like, I don't know, my thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking on the Disneyland subreddit just to find someone was talking about this and specifically what rides were weird. And there is a ton of photos of how packed it was there. How absolutely insane. The Esplanade.
Today?
Yeah, the Esplanade was wild.
See, and this is the problem. Like, I love Erik, but he is so positive that I don't trust him when he's like, oh no, it's fine. I'm like, but like, your fine and my fine are very different, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also he was in DCA.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
At that moment, yeah.
But there's so apparently Bob Iger was there. He did a little spiel in front.
I would think everybody's there.
Bob Gurr was doing a video, an interview somewhere. So that's pretty neat.
That's a reason to go on a birthday.
Right? Yeah. I mean, again, you can see an old guy, way off in the distance getting an interview.
See Bob Gurr from afar.
Well, from a car,
I wouldn't be able to go up to him.
Well, no, but I think it's. I wonder what content they're going to be pushing out. I wonder what they were making. You know what I mean?
These people were being filmed. I just assumed they were like hanging out.
No, I had said they were giving interviews and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Duh, Taren. And I can't find the thing because it's the best. Hold on. New. Yeah, there's videos. I mean, it's just nothing but tops of heads on Main Street. It seems wild to me, dude. Wild.
Oh, yeah. Huge. I did see a picture of the Esplanade today, and the lines were all the way to DCA.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good day. That's not a day I want to go to Disneyland. Sorry.
No. Absolutely
not. I love Disneyland, but not like that.
Yeah, right. Hang on. I'm going to... I want to find it. I want to find it just to cap off my friggin' segment. We're going to go, dude. I want to leave. Why is this person... People are so weird, dude. Go away. I don't care anymore.
What?
Don't. You don't need to worry about it. Let me just find it. I already told you what I was looking for.
I'm parched.
Can't find it. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? No one cares anymore. Oh, Disneyland POV is on Disney Plus. See, you found it. Right when you give up, folks, you find it. So, yeah, over on the Disneyland subreddit, someone was saying, I was watching the Pirates one. Why does the bayou sound like I'm about to get swarmed by flying monkeys? And my tablet is on full brightness, but it's still so dark I can hardly see anything. Disney is possibly the largest media company in the world. How are they not able to put something out better than a bunch of YouTubers operating with a cell phone and a dream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
because they don't care about this.
That's pretty funny. They can't not care. I don't think that's it. I think it's too easy of a thing to say. I think they just don't think that it's as important to people as it is. Because I think at the point where you get into the level of being in the Disney company where you can be in charge of something like this, you're just around people who are like, yeah, we just want to bring the magic home, whatever. We just want to. You're far removed from the fandom. I think for like this level of fandom, you and I would love to sit and watch these like highly produced videos, right? That'd be sick, but they don't think like that. I think it's just like a project. This is like just a taste. We're giving a teaser, but people don't want a teaser. You can get teasers all day long for anything else. We want this full product. We don't need a teaser for it. The teaser is less than.
See, and I think that's why. I think they don't want to give the full product because it's like when we watch Lollapalooza on the screen. Like, I'm never going to go to Lollapalooza again. I mean, not that I've ever been, but like I'm not going to go.
No, I'm not going
because I can watch it on TV and it's easier, and I'm in my pajamas and I can eat what I want and it's not hot and I have water that's for free.
I know, but that's not why you're not going to go. You know what I mean? There's a myriad of reasons why you're not going to go ever. You know what I mean? Mainly because we don't know these people. Lollapalooza is great to watch on TV because it's a bunch of artists that we have no idea, and it's just fun to have on.
Well, but that's not true. I mean, yes, but like I used to go to these festivals. Like that used to be a thing that I did a lot.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what I'm saying is like I think that could be a reason why they don't want to show the whole thing because they don't want to give it all away for free.
No, I understand that. That's what I said. I understand what you're saying. But I don't think that's the case because all these videos are already out there. Mm-hmm. So they need to do it better if they're going to do it at all. What's the point of doing it if they're just going to cut it up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're getting out of here, folks. Or Taren drives me with a wall. Erik, if you're listening, I hope you had a good time, dude. You know what I mean? In DCA on the birthday of Disneyland. What do you think of that?
I think that's great.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you want to hear more Disneyland content, go ahead and go to earsup-podcast.com and check us out over there. You can join us on the Patreon page, and you can support content across all the networks, or across the whole network, rather. We have a whole bunch of shows from Puny Pod to the Supreme Resort to you name it. We got it covered if it's part of the Disney universe. We also, if you're big into live-action Disney movies, today? I just released episode 2 of the Buena Vista Boys, covering Now You See Him, Now You Don't, which is the sequel, loosely, to the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a fun romp through through Medfield College once again, and Dean Higgins is more visibly drunk than ever. So check it out. It was a blast, and this one was really good. The next one in a couple weeks is covering Popeye. So definitely, if you're not following the Buena Vista Boys RSS feed, go ahead and add us wherever you do podcasts, and keep up to date. on the things or whatever. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until next time, we'll see you at the parks.